Hi Diego! Go give your mom a hug! Howdy YouTube! This is a video response to a question I had about why I used raised beds to grow my vegetables in. And this is, I think, a better way to describe it than trying to type a response, because it's kind of complicated. I'm going to go over these tips and hopefully it'll be informative and useful to all you out there. First, we'll start with the quality of soil I have at my location. And as you can see, it's mostly gravel with a 1.5 inches or so of topsoil. So that doesn't make very good growing experience for me. And I want my garden kind of close to my house. I'm tired of walking 1/8 of a mile to the garden. Anyways, back to the raised bed part. The raised bed, if you have 11 3/4 inch of topsoil, you do not need to raise your ground any. As I have about 1 inch of topsoil, I would need to put 11 inches of topsoil on top of it just to make enough root area for my plants to grow properly. And you can check that information out at Neil Kinsey's website, kinseyag.com. And he is an expert guru on soil fertility. So if you have 11 3/4 inch of soil, you don't need to raise your bed at all. But if you live in a clay area, raised beds can help with the soil compactness and the bogginess in the early spring and late fall. And if you have, say, a cold climate like the Pacific Northwest, a raised bed gives you a better chance at heating your soil up and drying it out so you can get an early start. Now the side of the bed, this isn't shaped yet, this is just raw, we haven't even rototilled it yet. But the side of the bed catches the sun and heats up, and the top of the bed catches the sun and heats up, and the other side catches it. So it's more areas heating the same amount of soil. So you can get a lot more heat out of it. Also, multiple rows will help break your wind factor down, because the hills and valleys, the wind just slows as it goes across your garden. And you, in the Northwest, you want to run your beds from north to south, so in the fall and the spring you're getting full coverage on all your bed. And that's about it for raised beds. So once again, the points on having a raised bed is to heat up your soil, to dry it out quicker, and to basically extend your season so you can grow in a climate that your vegetables really aren't intended to grow in. So if you really like to grow vegetables as long as year-round as possible, raised beds help. So do floating row covers, as does planter's paper. And there are other tricks we'll be going over this year. So I hope this was informative. If you want to know anything about soil fertility, I highly recommend you going over to Neil Kinsey's kinseyag.com. He's the guru on soil, and I just send my soil off to him and he analyzes it in the lab and he tells me what organic nutrients to put in. I think he covers like 27 different elements or something like that. It's the most detailed soil analysis you can get, and it's done properly. I highly recommend that. I hope this has been informative and answered your question, and anybody else has any questions, please don't hesitate to drop me a message. I'll be happy to go over anything I can share with you in my knowledge on farming, cooking, charity work, survival. Thanks, I hope you've enjoyed this show.